will post it somewhere. Channel myself stopped. All right, so let's start. Last time we almost finished the challenge, but there was one fatal mistake that I made, due to which a lot of stuff broke. If I go to day 3, actually, if I open my test explorer, let it find my tests. And if I open day 3, you will see one thing. Let it run. You see that panel and point tests fail. Actually, why is unequal fail? 0, 0, 0, 0. That's why. So I'll run this to prove that this works. But the point is that one test had a fatal flaw. Actually, when I input the real deal output, which is defined in this text file and in this text file, it failed. And it failed because my tests were not really complete. I based my logic presuming that it's a more trivial case than it is. So crossed wires test is the key point of this assignment. I need to find all intersections and get the shortest distance from the origin point. And the test for intersections is really not enough. Basically, it's a square made of a wire, and a square will connect at an edge. And that's the biggest problem. It shouldn't connect at the ends of the wire. It should connect crossing a part of the wire. And I didn't cover this case. And thus, even though this test succeeded, it didn't show the flaw that I had in my test. So to fix it, all I need to do is to write this little 2 here. So it will mean that it's not overlapping, but it's crossing a part of another wire. And my previous logic basically meant that a intersection is a wire which matches the points. In other words, intersection between wires, the points that define them is the thing that defines, where they intersect. But that's not true. It's the crossing point. So I need to implement that. So this will go out, and I need to figure out a better strategy. And a better strategy would be, I will make a drawing. So a better strategy would probably be that if I have 2 wires, one like this and the other one like this, where are they crossing? If this is minus 2, I'll probably write it here. So if this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. And if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I say that it will intersect that 2 lines. So I need to take a line, and actually an intersection is the intersection between 2 lines. That's the thing. So I need to take 2 points that form a straight line and check the intersection. How much do they intersect? When does it intersect? I need a method to check if 2 lines intersect, the trivial one. And then I need a method to go through all the lines and see intersections between all the lines. In other words, between all the points, like first and second, second and third, and between points of another line, first and second, second and third, and so on. So, when does it intersect? So I need what do I need? Do I create a line? Do I create 2 lines and see if they intersect, or do I do something smarter about it? Now let's think which would make more sense. I think since I want to test if my intersection logic is good. And find tangles, this basically will do lots of the same thing. So I'll move this to another place. And for now, I'll just say new, actually, I'll just say var tangles, new list t point. We cannot do the tangles thing yet. We need to implement an algorithm which would say if 2 lines are crossing. So I need another concept, a line. Yeah, a line. It's a waste of memory what I'm doing, because I will be creating new objects, but it makes it so much easier to understand what I'm doing. So this will be a struct. And a line is defined by what? By 2 points. Or by start and end. So I say private read-only point start is here. Private read-only point end is here, and I say that start is start, end is end, and these are public. So now I say that I want to find out what lines are intersecting. And I should have started from a test, so I'll go back and write a test for a line. this should go here, in here. Good. So I need to test a line. So I'll call it line tests. Yes, please. And we have line here, proper line. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. We didn't save the file. Line, perfection. And please save. Line tests, it will be a class now, of course. We don't need this, and we don't need this. So what do? We basically say, for now, I'll just say public void find a crossing point between lines. Yeah. Are two crossing lines okay, given no, both intersecting lines should both intersecting lines searching for intersections should return expected point. Searching for intersection. Yes. So again, class data or member data? I think class data. I prefer class data. Type of, and we want line lines input, I guess. Give me lines input. Lines input goes to input, and we say public. We don't want you here. We say lines input is enumerable of object array, and then we implement that using resharper, and we clean this up by saying that this is this. Right. And for this one, I'll say yield return we basically create points, pairs of points. pairs of lines, I mean. So first one. First one. New line, new point. So I want to have a scenario that I drew. So that scenario is, which I think I deleted accidentally. Basically, oh, I think I can copy this. This is the scenario I want. Let's clean a bit. Good. Dot dot. So if I take something like this, and if I say this is 0, this is -1, this is 1, and this is -2, -1. Okay. -2. Okay, I cannot say. 2, 1, 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 5. Insert 5, 1, 2, 3. So this is negative, this is positive. So if I take an x of line 1, and if that x is in between points of x's of line 2, and if y and y of line 2 is in between x's of line 1, then it means those lines are intersecting. So I need to do this. So I need to say that point 1 is at -1 and x is 0 and is -1, and the other point is 0 and it goes up and it's 1. So we have our first line. It probably doesn't understand what I have, right? Yeah. So that's our first line. Our second line our second line. Our second line is y is 0 and x in one end is 2. It could be 1 actually. And in this end as well. So it's minus 1, minus 1, and 1. Yield return. So our second line will be when it's at the edge. So I think those two cases are all that we want. And of course, the third one will be the expected point of intersection. And that point is 0, 0. And for this one, I'll take just the corner. So it will, the corner point will overlap. So it's when points are matching, when they're overlapping, that means the intersection point is also there. But that falls also in the algorithm that we designed. So return new object. And we say, again, we have 2 lines and a point. Let's adjust coordinates. So first one will be -1 and it will go to 0. So we have it there. Basically this. For simplicity's sake. Yeah. And good. Good. -1, 0. And let's paste this. And let's change our case to this. So it ends at zeros. So again, the same point cross section. And I think those two cases should cover it. Hello, Draco. Nice to see you again. Second evening in a row. Sorry that I wasn't able to solve the challenge yesterday, as I made, I would dare say, a shallow test. A really shallow test to solve my solution. I don't know, I was feeling a bit lazy, and so I went for a shortcut in terms of tests. Today I'm fixing that. And basically, I'm not sure if you noticed what was wrong. So what the part that was wrong was my test of this one, basically. So the problem was that I took something like this, which is basically if lines intersect at a corner, at an edge, then they're a crossing point. That's true. But I forgot to cover another case, which is sorry, wrong one. Yeah. Distance, tangles. Yeah, I forgot to cover this case. Basically, that's the corner. It goes right, up, left, so it forms a corner. And if another wire just goes up, it crosses with this part. These two parts overlap, and in the end, I say, hey, they're crossing. But I forgot to cover another part, which says if it sticks a bit and doesn't overlap completely, well, it should still give me the same point. Well, I didn't point that yesterday. So this test basically was a fatal point of my failure, that I wasn't working accordingly. So designing a bad test at the start will affect your tests a lot. So, right. That's it. So now I covered that, and now I came with a different concept. Now I basically say that lines have to cross. So I created a line. What is a line? A line is just 2 points. So I will go on implementing an algorithm which tells if lines are crossing, and I'll explain my thinking soon. So we have line tests with pairs of lines and pairs of lines with expected intersection. And I think I should get one more with I should shift those points, I think, a bit, so that it's not zeros, because zeros are deceiving. So it's -1, it's -1, and then here it's, oops, and here it's 0 instead of -1, and it goes to -1. Good. So that's the test. It's not It's not 0, 0, just to be sure. That's not default integer values. Good. So we have a test, and we need one more test to have no point. So I will put it as a null. And it's a null if one point, if we have two collinear points, we won't have any intersections, right? So I'll put it like this. Good. So one point is -1, 0. Sorry, -1, -1, 0, -1. And the other one is the same axis, but y goes up by 1. 0, 0. And the crossing point will be null. They don't cross. This is our test. And if I go to line tests, I need to mark this as a theory. And I need to give it input. And the input is 1 point. Sorry, 1 line. Second line. And a point. And now I need to do some actions. I'll also make the point nullable. So now we need to do something. And I think it makes sense to say line 1 dot intersect line 2, and we get a point. And then we say point should be equivalent. Why is there no fluent assertion? Come on. Why is it system drawing? Come on. That's not the point I wanted. And intersect will be a new method. So line point should be equivalent to expected. Expected crossing point. That's our test. So we should run our test, and if builds and compiles, that means that our test at least semantically works. And then we'll go on implementing the method that it tests. I don't see the runner. I'll build again just in case. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's files are locked. So I need to go to week 4 tests. That's odd. Why is week 4 locked? I don't remember running it. Anyways, the fix is really easy. You just go in and you say bye-bye. Then you skip what cannot be deleted. And that's still a hefty bit. And then you say, please move me to another place. And I'll move it to some temporary place. It cannot be deleted, but it can be moved. Kind of. Get me to the place again. Yeah, it's moved and it will build now properly. So if I build again, it should no longer give an error. So if I go to Test Explorer, actually I won't go to Test Explorer, I will run just these tests. I run them, they all fail because I haven't implemented the method yet, naturally. So I go on and see where they intersect. And actually, what astonishes me is the simplicity of this algorithm. Basically, two lines intersect when x of the first line is in between x of the ends of the second line and z of the first line. Y of the second line is in between y's of the second line. So I'll do this, and you'll see it's quite simple. Why is this? Oh, return. Good. So I say line 2. Well, first line 1. Start dot x should be start of x, yes, if start of x is in between line 2 start x and line 2 end x, and line 1, so my own line, and my line, no, their line y is in between my y's, then we return the points that are in between. The point that is in between, and that point is I forgot mark. Oh, I need ends. Less than this and what the hell, and start x and start y. I really need to divide this, it's unreadable. Is this line x in between, in range of line 2? Is other line y in range of line 1 of this line? Dot y. Good. So then I say, hey, if is this and that, then please return me the 2 points that are in between. Middle x and can it be different? Can I swap the cases? Does it make sense if I swap the cases? I think it does. Yeah. Or does it? No, I don't think it makes any difference which line is first and which line is second. So I say middle x is start x and this is and middle y. It doesn't matter which end I take. I can take start for simplicity's sake, actually. Yeah. So that's the new point. And it might be null. So if it's not satisfied by this, it's null. Back to our test. Line tests. So we say we intersect two lines, we get the point back, and the point that we got should be the expected crossing point. Let's run our tests now and see what happens. Two succeeded. And one did not. Because I didn't put inclusion. See, the edge case helped so much because we didn't put inclusion. It should have been inclusive. Seriously, it's amazing how helpful it is to have to be able to think of those edge cases. Perfection. All tests pass. Now we have implemented the point of intersecting two things, and now we need to go back to implementing intersection of wires. The wire untangler, that's the one. So we need to say all of those intersections. So we need to do, I think, a for each. A for loop. For loop for both. So it's not nice, but it will work. So I say for, it's a collection, I read only list, so it's in order, that's good. So I say for var point in, no, sorry, for var first, well, maybe index 1 is 0, index 1 is less than wire dot path dot count, index 1 plus plus. And I do the same for the index 2. Two, 2, And this is wire path as well, 2. Good. And then I say, hey, let me, and I go all the way till this. And then I say, hey, let me create a line and see if 2 lines intersect. It's actually not. No, it's actually that stupid. I don't want to keep creating lines because it's super inefficient. Okay, so first I'll build all the lines and then I'll check intersections. Yeah. Private I list of line build lines from wire. Actually, that's, yeah, that's fine. Wire. How do we build lines in a wire? We go through all points and say that first and second makes the first bit, second and third makes second bit, and so on. So we can now take this. Let's remove all the ones. Selection, please. So I say remove. So we say lines dot add new line from wire dot path index to wire dot path index plus 1. And that's it. And then I say, so we build lines of both things. And now we can say for each easily lines 1, line 1. Let's do the same. Lines 2, line 2. And we say we don't need this. So we go through each line and see if line 1 intersect with line, not lines, Jesus. Intersect with line 2. It's not intersect. Intersect with line 2. I mean, var point intersection. If intersection is not null, please add it to the tangles. Actually, it's already very nested, so I say if intersection is null, carry on. Else, add it to the list. Awesome. How does Lincool look like? Jesus. Yuck. Okay. So I have my tangles now. Let's see if it works. So I go back to wire. No, I go back to crossed wire test, and let's run them. Tangled wires expected. Still fails. With expected item 2 to be... Okay, is there a pattern? Expected tangles to be collection with one untensified and an empty collection. Okay. And why is that? And why did it find this thing? How could it find 0, 1? Oh, sorry, how could it find 1, 1? So the lines, 1 line, 2 lines. I know. I should always begin with line 0. So how do I begin with line 0? Right. Each line will also have 1 extra. And that extra will be the starting line. And that one will be wire dot path 0 dot width point 0, 0. So lines dot add new line, which takes this point as the end point and this one as the start point. Perfection. Why can I create new point without passing anything? That's a mystery. Anyways, it should be 0, 0. All points start at this. So if I run again, still fails. Um, 0, 0 should not be added. And it shouldn't be always created, of course. So what will I do? I will say that this is an origin point. So I'll pick a panel probably, and I'll say that this is the origin point. So I'll go to panel and I'll stick an origin point. I cannot stick an... Yeah, I can stick an origin point. But so what? Oh, I'll stick it anyways. Zero, 0. And this is static. And this is a property which does that. Which does this. Good. So I say panel dot origin point. I mean, yeah. With yeah, and I should ignore the intersection of origin points. Panel origin point and wire path 0. And this is a new line. Got it? Return tangles. Find tangles. Good. What's next? Okay, if its intersection point, if its origin point, if intersection is panel dot origin point, we also skip it. Let's try again. So now we'll get rid of duplicates. We have 1, 0, and we have 1, 1. One, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 0 1 1 0 1. Maybe I mixed the x and y. Seems like so. And I think another thing that I mixed is getting distinct points in the end. I equality comparer. New point equality comparer. So we will remove duplicates now. Yeah. Expected tangles to be collection. 1 0 1 1. What about 0 1? How come there are so many? And how come it couldn't find it? One zero one one. One zero one one. 1 0 0 1. Okay, I need to check my test to see if it works with one more case. Line tests. What if I invert the 2 points? Swap the lines, basically. Should be the same. So it's a proof that order should not matter. Let's run. And order does matter. But found null. Okay. Okay, so let's be very interesting about this. This will loop to infinity. Yeah, public. Okay. Like this. And this is fine, but this will be private. And this will take line 1 and line 2. And here I'll say, well, intersect with me. I mean, var intersection is is intersect with line 1, line 2. If intersection is not null, return intersection. Line 1 is me. Line 2 is line 2. Else, return intersection of line 2 with this. Intersect, what okay. So that should do it. That's very, very not nice looking, actually. Why does the order matter? So what happens? I say if line 2 start X, so I have 2 lines. Which goes like this. And then like this. And then this is X. And it's at 0, 0. So this is 0. So if, okay, so this is one case. And what if I do the same but shifted? Basically, what if I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I have? Something like this. One, two, three, four, five. So what happens? So if this is in between the ends of this, and this is in between the ends of this, what is my algorithm again? So if my x, this point, if this point is in between this and this, also if it's in between, this one is in between my own y and right, in range, if a number is in range of other two numbers. I checked it poorly, I think. Yeah, it's not the same as checking this, I think. So in this one case, if my start line is here and I say if it's x is in between x of this, it will fail. So I need to swap it. But isn't swapping it the same as changing order? But how it's this though? I don't get it. Wait, -1, -1. This. 0, 0. This. -1, 0. This. And -1, 0. This. 0, 0. This. -1, 0. This. So it took this and this. Why? What the hell? Oh, I'm confused. Okay, I say if -1, 0, if y, well, I start with an x, so if an x, so if this x is less equal than that one, that is true between this and crap. So if this line x falls in, sorry, if this line y falls in range of this line x, and this line y falls in range of this line no, that doesn't make sense. What am I saying? If this one x okay, if this one has a y in range of that one y, I think I made really stupid mistakes. Line tests. So I take oh my god, I forgot to mix it properly. So it took itself. It was working. I'm pretty sure it was working. Or maybe not. How do I check if two straight lines are intersecting? If x of line 1, which can actually vary, Oh, I know. I know. I'll change my strategy completely. I'll scrap this. I'll scrap this. I say if is vertical, let's determine if line is vertical. Public bool, more like an enum, I think. I think have it in here. So I will say direction, no, orientation. Public. I don't need publicly this info. Orientation, get lost. Private. Private. Okay. Let's create orientation then. Internal enum orientation, which will be either vertical or horizontal. Okay. Orientation. And this will be private. Also read-only. And we say that orientation is equal to, well, based on the stats. If start x is equal to end x, then orientation is horizontal. else, well, let's use ternary. Oh crap. We have orientation. So if line 1 orientation is horizontal, then we need to find a matching a matching line 2 Oh, so they need to have different directions. So, okay, if line 1 orientation, so if orientations is matched, that's a no-no. Kind of, not really. Anyways, if line orientation 1 is horizontal, then y will be constant. So if line 1 start y is in between either end, yeah, is in between either end, intersect with line 2. Then I need to check. Then my y is start y, and then I say if y is less than line 2 dot start dot y, and y are equal, and y is more than line 2 start dot y, or y is more equal than line 2 dot end dot y, and y is more equal than this, and y is more equal, less equal than line 2 dot end dot y. Start. If is x in between, if x is not in between, return null. Else is y in between, so it needs to have different directions or something. So if this is horizontal, the other one will be either, well, it can be either. So let's presume some stuff. It's a horizon, so I can make a longer one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X. First case would be this. So is x in between? So if my y is less than line start y, so y is constant, and I ask if y is in between. So it's if y is in between and not x. So now I check if this one, either end, is in between. So I say line all about x's all about x's. And y of this one is constant. It's constant. If it's collinear, then it will be equal, which will qualify. And if it's not, then it needs to be like this in order to have a cross section. So I guess it will come down to if I do have work tomorrow, but I really want to finish this one. And hello, average god. I'm doing TDD, and my tests are failing, and I'm fixing them, as you can see. So if y is in between, if y is not in between, I mean, if this doesn't cross with this, then I terminate. I don't do game dev, I do enterprise applications, so I don't really do much problem solving in that level. It's usually just enterprise stuff, web dev stuff, backend mostly. Financial stuff, security is what I work with usually. Let's think. If y is not in between, return. And now I need to make sure that this line is in range of this and not somewhere like this. So I need to make sure this condition is fulfilled. And I can check the x of this one. And I can presume this, the other orientation is vertical. So I ask for x, which is line 2 dot, it can be any start or end, and I say that x needs to be in between the first line start and either start or end. Well, don't know which one is bigger, so So we covered the horizontal part and now the vertical part. And the vertical part is I start with an X and I check if my X yeah, I start from an X and I check for if Y is in between. Also, if this is not true, I return null. And for this one, public. And for this one, what do I do for this one? Yeah. And for this one, if Y is in between, if my orientation is vertical, so it means I am this line, then I need to check if this line crosses, and this line crosses if X is in yes, I mean, if my line is vertical, that means I have a constant Y. So sorry, that means I have a constant X, okay? And if I have a constant X, so this one is always the same. So if I have a constant X, then my X needs to be in between the ends of the other line X. So my X and this cries for refactoring actually, but I am kind of dying here solving this. I really had too little sleep recently. Why? Whoa. This is repeating itself and really is refactorable. And this should be Y, I think. So if my line is vertical, it will cross if the X is here. And if it's not, let's make another one. So it will cross the second one if the second one x matches. I mean, if my x, which is constant, is in range of another line ends x, and another line y is in range of my own line y's. Yes. So if not is x of other in between, return null, and else return new point, which is the intersection point. All right, please pass. Oh God. It's literally inversed. What the fuck? Holy crap. So which case succeeds? Did I make it inclusive? Yeah, inclusive, inclusive, inclusive. Huh. Mm-hmm. Mm. And I think I need to check either end. No. Or do I? I think so. Sucked. Line 2. Two lines. One line. And I say var intersection this intersect with line 2 if intersection is null. Intersection, else return line 2 dot intersect with this. And I fucked up because I should have said intersect this and that, and here I should have said intersect line 2 with this from the other side. Horrible, horrible code. Wow. How come the order now? How come the order matters? I don't get that. Oh, right. I forgot to use the line. Jesus. Holy crap. Line 1. Line 2. Line 1. Line 1. Line 1. Line 1. Line 2. Line 2. Line 1. Okay. Nothing changed. -1, 0. Okay, let's debug. I'll spend 15 minutes more. If I can't figure out, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so we have our first line, 0, 1, 0, -1. What? Uh, 0, 1, -1. X is... Wait a minute, it's not horizontal. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mixed the sides. Jesus. Nothing changed. Wonderful. Okay, carry on. Okay, line 1. Vertical, x is constant. So, false. Is y in between? Let's draw it. Got, whatever, this one's fine as well. Let's draw the scenario. So line 1 starts at 0, ends at 0, 1 minus 1. So let's mark it 1, 0, minus 1. One minus 1. So that's our first line. Now let's draw a second one. It starts at 1. And it ends at what? It starts at minus 1 and it ends at 1. Y is 0. Right. So what fatal mistake did we make? What the hell? Come on, run all, fail, and I debug. So our x oh no, guys, you didn't notice. Jesus fucking Christ. Guys, I trusted you. It still didn't change. Holy shit. If x is less than start or more than end, the signs I think the signs should have been inverted. X more than start and less than end, or more than end and less than start. More, less, or more, less. Did it solve anything? Holy shit. It did. This one is fine. So if y is less than start y, if it's more than start and less than end, or if it's more than end and less than start, more than start, less than end, more than end, less than start. Finally, guys. Awesome. Now let's see if... I think the order doesn't matter. Let's see if I'm correct. Oh shit. I'm not correct because this bit was swapped, so order does matter. Because we checked like 4 cases. So there's a fuck ton of cases that we just checked with this cross section. Okay. But now our algorithm works. That's good. Now let's run all tests. Better. Expect rectangles to be a collection of 3 items, but contains 1 less. Find tangles. Well, that works, but this one doesn't. Let's see. Let's stop actually. If I go to tests, build, which case failed? The one where everything is overlapping failed. Why? Why? If 2 wires are on top of each other, why is it failing? And I'm curious why x equals 0 fails. Hard to find actually. Okay, let's debug. True. Good. Wait, what? Oh, origin point. Okay. Okay, y in between, false. What's the point? 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. One, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Shouldn't match. Zero, 1. False. Oh shit. So the point that I'm expecting, hard to debug. God damn it. How do I debug? Okay, either end should have 0, 1. So one line, either end, 0, 1. Line 1 dot start dot x. Line 2 the same. Close. 0, 1, not 0, 1. 0, 1. So this one, doesn't 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 should. Wait, no, never mind. Shouldn't. Nope. 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 Yes. Definitely yes. So what situation do we have? 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And the other one is 1, 1. Sorry, 0, 1. 1, 1. And this one, 0, 1, 1, 1. It's matching, exactly matching. Oh, both points are matching. So it doesn't know which one to take, the top one or the bottom one. I see. So I guess if they have the same orientation, I straight say, sorry, you don't match. makes sense. Good run. Wait, what? Not correct. Not correct at all. Do it immediately. Okay, so please show me why is it succeeding. How the fuck is it moving to that position? Vertical, vertical. If both are vertical, you go vertical, horizontal. Okay, sure. Hmm. One zero 0 1. Let's draw the line. Literally. 1 0. So 0 1 1. 1 0 1. So the line is 1 0. Zero, zero, 0 1, 0 0. What the fuck? What am I missing? Oh. Seriously? Wow. Yes. 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 And this RUL. RUL. What the fuck? 0, 0. 1, 0. Yeah. 1, 1. Yeah. 0, 1. Yeah. It's the same. How are two exact same wires giving different inputs? This I don't get. Huh? It's as if origin point suddenly got reset. Doesn't make sense, to be honest. One zero zero zero. One zero. One zero. I read only list order. Perfect. Of course it's overlapping, and of course it's in parts matching. Yeah, it should actually return an array. Okay. So please return do the same. If intersection bar intersections Okay. Okay, more like this. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time.